Hey everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Paul. I am a PhD student at Yale University. And on this channel, myself, Alfred, and Pat Moore, and a host of other people on the Biolama team, we share reliable information about what it means to study abroad and how to do it, from finding scholarships, finding schools, obtaining visas, living in the US, living in Canada, life abroad in general. In this particular video, I want to answer a question. What is academics like in the USA? What should you expect the education system to be like in the USA? And I want to share 4 things here that I've written down. Number 1 is, as I have experienced it, US education system for the most part is research based, right? Other programs outside of the US, maybe in Europe, some places in Africa, some places in Asia, are different, right? They're not maybe research based. They're like, facts based, and they're designed slightly different outside of the research system. By research, what I mean is it is driven by sort of a problem solution kind of a system where you're encouraged to figure out a problem in your field, and then through research come up with solutions for that problem, right? So it's designed that way. And so for most of the classes that you're going to be taking, you're going to be writing research papers, and research papers are going to be based on research problems, and you're going to be going through a research process to be able to figure out what the answers to those problems would be. And that's what you publish out there, or you present in class as, okay, this is the solution that I figured out for this particular problem. So most programs and departments are research focused, which means you're going to be doing a lot of research. If you have some research experience, it always comes up as an advantage. But if you don't, you're still going to be trained, you're still going to be prepared, you're not going to miss much at all, right? So that's number 1 top tip that I would give, that you should expect that the US education system is more problem solution based than it is just about knowledge for the sake of knowledge. Number 2, which also follows through from my first point, is it's not really a lecture based system where somebody will come and stand in front of you and tell you all the 500 things that you need to be a great accountant, or all the whatever tips that you need to be a better medical student, or all the things that you need to know to be a good surgeon. It's generally not going to be that way. It is going to be more or less supervised self-study, where you're going to be assigned readings, you're going to be assigned books and articles and things to read for yourself, right? You are going to basically educate yourself, but with the supervision and with the resources that your school is going to be providing. And that's a slightly different system where, for instance, I grew up in Ghana and I went to school in Ghana, and my background is basically go to class, somebody's going to tell you everything that you need to know about this particular concept. They're going to share notes with you. You're going to read the notes, and as long as you listened in class and you read the notes and you're able to reproduce that same information through some means, you're a good student. But in the US, that doesn't necessarily define being a good student. I'm not saying that our system is bad. I'm just saying it's different. That's all I'm saying, right? That nobody's really going to tell you, okay, this is what it is. But we're going to guide you so that through your own creative thinking, through your own self-study, you're able to come up with the things that you need to know to become the best or the good, whatever that you are aiming to become professionally. By that, it also means that it being research-based and it also being some kind of a self-study system, it means that it focuses on developing your own voice as a professional, like your own ideas, your own convictions about your professional pathway. It's not designed to validate the voices of some authoritative figures in your field, or it's not designed to validate the knowledge of some big name out there who is all-knowing about everything in your field. No, it's there to also say that, hey, this person has come up with something that's helpful, but you too can come up with something. And what do you have to say about this particular thing? Or what thoughts do you have about this? And what's your own voice about this? And for me, I think that was one of the transformative thing in my own education and training in the US, right? I came to the US being fairly eloquent and being fairly, out there in the public, being a public speaker and, talking in front of people all the time. So I would say that I had a way of knowing my own voice and my own thoughts about things. But the US education system pushed me to become a lot more confident about my own thoughts and my own thinking about issues and about things, right? And to believe in my own voice and to say that, yeah, there are voices out there. There are voices that have come before me, and there are voices that will come after me. But they are not to be taken as the voice, but that I also have a contribution to make, and believing in my own contribution, is what has gotten me this far. And I keep working on it, even as a PhD student who's working to become an academic. So that's the second and maybe third thing that I want to say. The fourth thing is, it is practical for the most part. It is practice-based learning. Like, it's hands-on. There's a requirement for internships. There's a requirement to be out there. There's a requirement to be in the lab where there are resources, where there are like prototypes of things, and you're actually practicing and putting your hands to things. And it is through putting your hands to things that you learn. Right? If you're going to be in the humanities like I am, it is practice-based in the sense that there are like focus groups or small group discussions, or like, the sort of video experiment of things, or community-based. You're going to be working with people and leaders in various communities to be able to practice and demonstrate your understanding of a particular concept. And I think that's very different from an exclusively theoretical environment where you're only theorizing about things and not really understanding how those kinds of theories play out in real life. So expect that you're going to be doing a lot more practical things, building things with your hands, crafting things with your hands, and being involved in actual communities and interacting with actual systems and human beings as you learn. And then the last thing that I want to share, especially for my West African people, is grades don't matter. And so relax and be less competitive and try to be collegial when it comes to the way you approach studying in the US. And I say this because a lot of us, we grew up in a very grade rewarding environment where the person who got maybe 6 A's is the top, or 10 A's or 15 A's or whatever, 6 B's and whatever, it's the most prized student who gets all the prizes on the speech and prize giving day, or the most rewarded in all of the regional exam or whatever. But in the US, as I've come to realize, both as a student and as somebody who's now like a teaching assistant teaching students and being mentored to teach as a PhD student, the emphasis is not so much on the grades and what the student gets, right? And again, if you go through the process, for most institutions, you're going to get the grade. And again, get the grade is not equivalent to knowing the stuff, right? You could find a way to please your prof to get a grade, but it doesn't mean that you know how to do the stuff entirely, right? So grades is not a measurement. It's not a full measurement of intelligence or expertise or hard work necessarily. It is something else. It is your ability to speak on the topic. It's ability to create knowledge on the topic. It's ability to present on the topic. It's ability to invent something on a particular issue. The ability to come up with a solution to a particular problem. That's how we measure the way you are learning. Of course, that automatically means you're going to get a good grade, but the grade alone by itself is not the thing. Also, it's not like grades are not rewarded so that you will become the best among everybody in the class. If everybody in the class gets an A, everybody receives an A, right? And nobody is like number one and number two, right? So relax on being competitive. Relax on trying to prove that you can get a good grade. Relax on your GPA and try to just focus on learning, right? I've gotten several good grades in certain classes that I feel like I could have learned a little bit more because there was so much to still take out of the class. Even though I got a good grade, I didn't quite feel like I consumed the knowledge. And in other ways too, I have, really consumed great knowledge from other classes and gotten the grade, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know my stuff. I'm more pleased about knowing the stuff, right? So, less of the 3.9, 3 point whatever, 4 point whatever, less of that when you come to the US, and more of collegial learning and exchanging knowledge and becoming a better person. This is all that I have to share with you in this particular video. Look in the video description below for tips and for contacts and for website information. If you need to reach out to us, let us know, and we will be with you in another video. Peace out.